Okay guys, and welcome back. So in this video we are going to be looking at higher order function. Okay, this is the third video on my intermediate Python series. Now, what are higher order functions? Now, before I talk about higher order functions, I'm supposed to explain the concept of first class citizens. In Python, functions are first class citizens. Now, when you say something is first class citizen or a function is a first class citizen, it means it can be passed like every other object. It can be treated like every other object. Okay, it can be returned by a function. It can be passed into a function as an argument. It can be assigned as a variable. Okay, those are the basic things you have for every first class citizens, and in Python functions are first class citizens, so they are more like every other objects. So I'm going to have a playlist that is going to talk about different terms when it comes to programming in general. However, in this video I want to look at higher order functions. Now, higher order functions are made possible in Python because of this concept of first class citizenship I just explained. So when you say a function is a higher order function, it means that function accepts some other function as an argument, or that function returns a function as its result. So when a function accepts some other function as an argument, or it returns a function as the result, then you say that function is a higher order function. So whenever you're considering higher order function, especially when it comes to the function that takes in some other function as its argument, there are two basic concepts you're looking out for. You're looking at for the higher order function and also the callback function. So the function that is being passed in is called a callback function. Then the function that is accepting the other function is called a higher order function. So it's more like you have a function of functions. So just picture it this way. So I have a function f, and this function accepts some other function g as its parameter. So in this case I have a f is a higher order function, so I can use that HOF for it, and g is a callback function. Okay, so the function that is taken in is a callback function. The function that is being taken in is a callback function, while the function that is accepting is called a higher order function. So we have some default higher order functions in Python. One of them is the map, another one we have is the filter, and then we also have the reduce. Okay, so these are default higher order functions we have in Python. We are going to build our own higher order function. So for now we are not going to look at those default cases. We'll build ours, then also possibly we'll look at those cases and see how they work. So let's build our higher order function. So I'm going to build a function. So this function is meant to print hello. So I'm going to call it something very simple. It's going to say hello. So it's meant to say hello. It's just going to print hello. So that's all this function is meant to do. All it's meant to do. Very simple function. So if I call say hello, it's going to say hello because that's what we want it to do. But now let's create another function. So I'm going to call this HOF. So I'm actually using HOF here to mean higher order function. So let's say this function takes in f as its argument. Or let's not call it HOF. Let's say do tree. Okay, so let's call it do tree. So what this function is meant to do is it's going to take in some other function there to perform the operation of that function 3 times. That's what do tree simply means. So I'm just going to run f. Okay, so let's try it and see. So if I say def and I say do tree, sorry, that's a bloody mistake. So if I say do tree and then I pass in a function, this time around what I want to pass in is say hello. So you can see I define this function and I'm saying it's taking something. So this is the reference it's taking in. It's taking just the reference of the function, and here I'm calling the function. So here I'm executing a function per se. So when I execute a function, it's actually going to print whatever we have there. So we said it's meant to do it 3 times, but right now it's not doing it 3 times. So I'll say for I in range of 3, just do this. Okay, so that's all. So now we can run say hello, do 3. So you can see I'm running do 3, say hello, and look at what it's doing. It is running that say hello function 3 times. So get the concept. I created a function here, call it do3. It's accepting its only argument as a function. Then it's going to run that function 3 times. So here I'm calling do3, then I'm passing in say hello function here. So since I'm passing in say hello function, it's automatically saying hello 3 times. So I can still use the do3 for some other function. Let's create another function. What function should we create now? Let's create a function that's meant to print something 2 times. Okay, it's meant to print something 2 times. So this is going to be do2. Okay, let's call it do2. It's not taking in anything as a parameter, so all it's going to do is it's going to print first. So let's say it is printing first, and then next is going to print second. So let's run it and see. So if I call do2 and run this, you can see it's printing first and second. But what do you think will happen if I call do3 and then I pass in do2 as the parameter? What do you think is going to happen? So it's going to print first, second, first, second, first, second 3 times. So you can see this is the first time, first, second, first, second, first, second. So it's printing it 3 times because that's what it's meant to do. So that's what you call higher order functions. They are generally functions that accept some other functions as parameter, and they also return a function as a parameter. That's what you call higher order function, guys. So in the next video we are going to be looking at closure and also expatiate on the concept of higher order functions. Okay, and then we'll look at closure, because after looking at closure, the next thing we are going to be looking at are what you call decorators. So we'll be taking this series, a lot of things we have to treat in this series. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.